Sales lessons learned from AC/DC. So recently, AC/DC played two sold-out nights at Wembley Stadium. It was an absolute dream come true. I have followed this amazing rock band since, oh my goodness, 1986. That's like almost 40 years. Um, and afterwards, I went home and I started journaling as I do every single night. And I was just talking about how grateful I was, and all of a sudden that gratitude became more than just writing in my diary. I started thinking about all the great sales lessons you can learn from AC/DC, the rock band. I thought, okay, I've got to write this into an article, which I've done. And I've got to shoot this as a video for my followers on YouTube as well, because they'll get so much value from this. And plus it's something different in your typical, sales video. So the first lesson is never give up. So from 1973 to 1979, AC/DC released several albums with their testosterone-fueled, awesome Scottish lead singer, Bon Scott. And apart from Highway to Hell in 1979, none of these made it big. I mean, Highway to Hell got to the top 20 in America, but it didn't go huge. Quite often in life, a lot of great things don't become worldwide successes for a whole variety of reasons. AC/DC were a world-class band back then. They still are now, but they didn't make it worldwide. But they kept going. Every year to 2 years, they kept releasing a new album. In fact, probably one to every 18 months at that stage of their career. Plus, of course, they were still touring as well. So never give up. In sales, so many people will send an email or a LinkedIn DM, or they get a rejection from a cold call. And what do? They give up. They can't get hold of the person, or the person doesn't reply, and they give up, and that's it. They move on to the next person. No, it's really important to be creative in your follow-up. And it's really important to keep going. You rarely achieve success the first time round. Some people do, but most of us don't. So keep going. The second thing is learning to adapt. So in 1980, unfortunately, Bon Scott died, and many bands would have given up. Many bands over the years have replaced members of the band who have passed away and not had much success, sadly. AC/DC replaced Bon with Brian Johnson, an outstanding raspy singer from Newcastle, and they made Back in Black, which became one of the biggest albums of all time. I believe it's about 50 million copies, so something incredible. It is one of their best albums, no doubt about it. But they learned to adapt with a new lead singer who also became a co-songwriter as well. And they kept going. So it's very important to adapt to the times. In today's modern sales world, people are still trying to sell like 10 years ago, and it doesn't work. You have to adapt to the modern times. Yes, some old school stuff still works, like meeting people face to face, sending thank you cards in the post. That still works magic. But in today's modern age, you have to learn to adapt to the new environment. The third thing is don't get distracted. So in today's world, people are not focusing enough on sales. 75% of people are currently missing their sales target. 75%, that number is incredible. Now, I do appreciate a lot of it is because they're distracted by so much technology. But here's the thing, AC/DC do not get distracted by technology. They don't get distracted by AI. In the 1980s, and all these really fun rock bands came out, mainly using keyboards. AC/DC did not use keyboards. They stuck to their tried and tested formula, which works brilliantly. Okay, and I see so many people not hitting sales target because they get distracted by automation. They get distracted by ChatGPT. They get distracted by AI. Now, of course, you should keep an eye on AI in today's modern world. It is going to change how we work. But in sales, it's not making much of a difference yet. And I stress the word yet because nobody really can predict the future. But the emails I'm seeing that are being sent on AI are not very good. The ones that big technology companies are using are not very effective. ChatGPT is quite good for research when you really want to dig deep into something. I am finding that quite useful. But in sales, in outreach, it's just not working effectively. So do not forget, old school quite often can work really, really well in a modern day age. And the thing is, consistency matters as well. AC/DC have done 1 to 2 albums for about 25 years. More recently, not as much because they don't really have anything to prove, but for 25 years they kept going. And most people will send a LinkedIn DM or an email, a standard email. I hope you're well. Let me tell you about my product. Are you free Tuesday or Thursday for 15 minutes? Here's my Calendly link. Almost every single one is the same. They open with a cliche, they talk about themselves, they offer a 15-minute meeting. You can't really learn much about a business or talk about your services and how you can benefit somebody in 15 minutes, just to be clear. And they send a Calendly link. You don't have to do that. Being consistent is very important. Keep going is very important. Adapt to the times is very important, and do not get distracted by AI or automation. I hope these 4 sales lessons have been invaluable to you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know in the comments what your favorite takeaway is. And if you're an AC/DC or a rock music fan, tell me what your favorite sales lesson is from rock music.